Here is something that most people get completely wrong about Linux is quietly taking over everything, and it is costing them years of wasted effort and frustration. I have spent a significant amount of time studying this topic, talking to experts, and testing different approaches. What I have found is that the conventional wisdom is not just incomplete, it is actually misleading. By the end of this video, you are going to understand this subject better than 90% of people out there, and more importantly, you will know exactly what to do next. To truly understand what we are talking about today, we need to zoom out and look at the bigger picture for a moment. The world of Linux is quietly taking over everything has undergone a dramatic transformation in just the last 3 to 5 years, and the pace of change is only accelerating. What worked even 2 years ago may already be obsolete. Most people have not kept up with these shifts because they are consuming outdated information. Today I want to make sure you have the most current and relevant understanding possible so that every decision you make from here forward is based on reality, not assumptions. The first key insight, and arguably the most important one I can share with you today, is this: simplicity wins every single time without exception. When it comes to Linux is quietly taking over everything, the people who achieve real, lasting success are consistently the ones who focus relentlessly on mastering the fundamentals instead of chasing complexity and shiny new approaches. There is a powerful temptation to overcomplicate things because complexity feels more sophisticated and impressive. But the data consistently shows that simple, well-executed strategies outperform complex ones in virtually every measurable way. Start with the basics, master them completely, and then build from that solid foundation. Now here is where things start to get really interesting. The second key idea I want you to take away from this video is that a significant portion of what you have been told about Linux is quietly taking over everything is either completely outdated, misleading, or just flat out wrong. I know that is a controversial statement, but hear me out. The field has changed so rapidly that advice from even 2 or 3 years ago can actively hold you back today. The strategies that worked in the past are not necessarily the strategies that work now. You need to be willing to question everything you think you know and update your mental models based on current evidence and results. Here is number 3 on the list, and I genuinely believe this one is an absolute game changer for anyone willing to embrace it fully. The compound effect applies to Linux is quietly taking over everything in exactly the same way it applies to fitness, financial investing, and every other area of human achievement. Small, seemingly insignificant daily actions create absolutely massive results when they are sustained over a period of weeks, months, and years. The problem is that most people give up long before the compound effect kicks in because progress in the early stages is almost invisible. Trust the process, stay consistent, and the exponential growth curve will eventually work dramatically in your favor. Let me break down the exact step-by-step process that I recommend for anyone serious about making progress with Linux is quietly taking over everything. This is not theoretical fluff. This is a proven practical framework. Step 1. Spend 30 minutes conducting an honest audit of your current situation. Where are you right now, truthfully? Step 2. Identify the 3 to 5 biggest gaps between your current state and your desired outcome. Step 3. For each gap, define one specific action you can take this week to begin closing it. Step 4. Create a simple tracking mechanism, even a basic spreadsheet works perfectly. Step 5. Execute daily and review weekly. That is the entire system and it works remarkably well. To make everything we have discussed truly tangible and actionable, let me walk you through a specific scenario that many of you can probably relate to directly. Imagine that you have exactly 30 minutes per day that you can dedicate to Linux is quietly taking over everything. That is it. Half an hour. Most people would say that is not nearly enough time to make meaningful progress. But here is the truth: 30 focused, intentional minutes every single day adds up to over 15 hours per month and over 180 hours per year. That is more than enough to go from complete beginner to genuinely competent if you use that time wisely and follow a structured approach. Let me share a second compelling example that illustrates a crucial principle about execution speed versus perfectionism. Picture 2 hypothetical people who both decide to get into Linux is quietly taking over everything on the exact same day. Person A spends 6 full months meticulously planning, researching, taking courses, and preparing before they take a single concrete action. Person B jumps in immediately on day 1, makes tons of mistakes, learns from each failure, adjusts their approach daily, and iterates rapidly. Who do you think is further ahead after those 6 months? It is always person B, without exception. The imperfect starter with real-world experience will outperform the perfect planner with zero practical experience every single time. Now let me share with you the absolute biggest mistakes I consistently see people make when they are trying to make progress with Linux is quietly taking over everything, because avoiding these pitfalls can literally save you years of wasted time and frustration. Mistake number 1, and this is by far the most common and most damaging, trying to learn absolutely everything about the subject before taking a single step forward. The future of Linux is quietly taking over everything is genuinely and incredibly exciting no matter how you look at it. We are entering a brand new phase where the tools available to individuals are getting dramatically better and more powerful, the barriers to entry are dropping to essentially zero, and the opportunities for creating real meaningful value and impact are expanding more rapidly than at any point in recent history. People who position themselves correctly right now, at this specific moment in time, are going to look back in 5 years and realize that this was one of the best decisions they ever made. The window of opportunity is open right now and it will not stay open forever. So here is exactly what I want you to do right now before you click away from this video or get distracted by something else. Pick one single idea, one concept, one strategy from everything I have shared with you today, and commit to implementing it before you go to sleep tonight. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more ready. Today. Right now. That single decisive action, no matter how small it might seem, will immediately put you ahead of the overwhelming majority of people who consume this kind of content passively and never do anything meaningful with it. Be the person who takes action. Be the person who starts. Your future self will thank you enormously. That wraps it up for today. If this video genuinely helped you understand Linux is quietly taking over everything better, or if it gave you even one useful idea or new perspective, please take 2 seconds to drop a like on this video and hit the subscribe button for more content exactly like this. It costs you nothing and it helps me continue creating free educational content for this community. Also, if you know someone who is struggling with this topic or who would benefit from these insights, please share this video with them directly. Sometimes all someone needs is the right information at the right time to completely transform their trajectory. I will see you in the next one. Stay consistent and keep building. If this helped, subscribe for more.